Nope.
Daddy, tell me a story.
Tell me a story.
All right, Bobby, we can tell you a story.
Man, this one fits. So this one is tell me a story about your side hustles. And man, I gotta imagine you've had a ton. My life is all side hustles.
That's
honestly, it is. Let's see. Currently, I don't actively drive Lyft, but it's still always in my back pocket to go and drive and pick up some people for money. I've hosted karaoke and trivia, and done live event services, being like build stages and run concerts. All in the same period of time. Currently,
while you were driving, you're setting up.
Hold on, here's some wrench. I'll be back.
It's pretty impressive.
And a little bit of trivia about that wrench is stupid.
Sing along with the song about the wrench. Yeah.
What currently, I consult for the ambulance company I used to run. I'm the executive director of One EMS charity, One EMS Unified. I trying to raise money for that. I teach EMT school. I record and produce podcasts for other people. I work for Dragon Con as a multi-level director. Man, I just see. Oh yeah, I'm selling a medical test to hospitals and doctors and sports teams about detecting concussions. And it's a really cool thing. I mean, all these little things, right, that just go together. I no longer desire to understand I have a job that I go to world. I know I just came out of that this year again for a second. The first time, Manny, I came out of it.
Yeah,
was I don't know, 2015 or so, and it was on the hustle for many years and got back into it, lost the side hustles a bit, lost my way, but learned a lot of things and got positioned where I needed to be. But Andrew says teacher, researcher, and performer. What about you, Joe? Do you have any side hustles?
There was a while there where I was getting commissioned to make maps for people. Like
for gaming and stuff, right?
Yeah, I made a map for an artist who wrote furry comics. So I made a map for his furry comics.
You get those at the adult library.
I know.
I'm back to doing plasma again. Got a bruise from the last time I went.
I'm trying to think about that.
Yeah, through college I did that to get money for Dayton. Well, and groceries is good too. Yeah, sure. Donating plasma, just like Bob says.
There you go. I may not be able to do it, and I'll tell you why. But go ahead.
Yeah, there is a screening process. My father-in-law is not allowed to. He's been barred from donating plasma or blood because he had a false positive for hepatitis or something. But
I think mostly it's because we don't want that New York blood floating around down here in the South.
Come on, man. First of all, sir. First of all, I have O negative New York blood, which means I'm a universal donor, and my blood tastes like bacon, egg, and cheese. So anyway, go ahead. Vampires love me in the morning.
Oh man. But yeah, that's I mean, I've done a few things here there was while I was in college I had several different jobs that, like, doing the market research calls and stuff like that. Those sucked. Yeah, everyone loved getting calls for me.
My worst hustle was working daytime hours at a skating rink in a small town. It was the worst. I hated that.
Sounds boring.
It was very I read so many books from the adult library. So many.
These furry comments are great.
Man.
These furry comments.
So
bro, everything's a side hustle for me now. So I mean, even my job is weird because, like, I did work for like about 15-20 years for the same company. The company evolved into different things. So it was a newspaper, And so I was doing print production, graphic design for a print product. Then it turned into digital. So I ran the website and I built the website. And then we started taking on clients that were our advertisers. So I built other people's websites. So now I'm a website designer, even though I work for a newspaper that I started with as a print graphic designer. So now I'm a web designer. Then I managed the whole process, hired other people, had people under me building websites. So now I'm a digital design, director, all these things. Then eventually that company ended up kind of weaning off the newspaper thing and started merging to a digital marketing company because we got so good at building websites, and now we're marketing the website. Then I'm building their podcast studio, right? So even within a job, it's all side things. At the same time, I've got my own. Where the hip hop can save America thing comes from is I started an online publication covering New York area hip hop music and culture. So during the day, I work for this local weekly newspaper, and at night, I'm in New York City covering shows and talking and interviewing performers and being at all these events and then writing about it on the blog. And I'm actually doing that during the day too, which is fine. They didn't know. They did know because eventually they were like, hey, we're going to fire you. Right. And I'm like, cool. And they were like, but we want you to start your own company because you're doing all these other things, and then sign us as your client to keep producing podcasts for us. So I was like, cool. They were like, this way.
Okay.
And the boss said, he goes, this way, and it's never stopped you before, but you can now keep doing the other things you were doing. You did notice that I was doing moonlighting a little bit. So the side hustles turned into then I started my company, but they were my clients. So then I picked up some other clients, but at the same time, now I'm migrating, not covering artistry and the independent music scene so much, because I started finding people that are using hip hop in these really inventive and creative ways that could actually help uplift humanity and education and health and wellness and science and technology. And that where, the hip hop can save America stuff comes from. So I'm like, well, let me start covering that. So then I start building up this ecosystem. Doesn't really pay me anything. Sometimes I get speaking gigs. Sometimes I do some keynotes, and that's picking up more and more now. And so it's been like a consortium of side hustles that have all kind of come together to be the hustle, which is me doing 7 things, but simultaneously. And I'm a DJ. I would DJ for a band that I was the band DJ, and they would perform, but then I moved to Atlanta. So now I only do it in fits and starts. So
you're going on that final tour with Wu-Tang, right though?
Yeah. Wu-Tang Flan.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang Flan. You see what I did there? I brought it back around. You joked earlier. They call me Mr. Thursday Night. So it's all side hustles, man. It's all been little things that I've somehow, picked up. And because I was, foolish, or maybe blessing and a curse of I never went to college. My dad was a college professor. Go figure. Brilliant man, sociologist, dope. But I never went to college. I went for 26 minutes. Had a kid out of high school and was just working, but I just saw
all in 26 minutes. Wow.
Yeah, it happened 26. It was very, very quick. And then so just picking up things, right? I got into graphic design because I had a home studio. I was making music, I was making beats and kind of as a side hustle. And I was like, I got to advertise it, so I got to make a flyer. So I had to acquire some graphic design software and learn how to make my own flyers. So I learned how to do graphic design. So it was always just finding a thing to learn and working it into my, mix. And now I can do 78 things, that's a jack of all trades.
Yeah.
Master of many, not all, but some I'm pretty good at now. And it's all that's my life. My life has been literally a smorgasbord of side hustles that now serve me pretty well, in this media ecosystem gig economy. And y'all did it too, so I can't really chalk it up fully to hip hop, but I do think that people coming from that mindset, that ecosystem, that ethos, where a DJ is an engineer, right? A DJ is also a sort of a psychologist, right? When you play music to a crowd, you have to understand how the crowd is reacting, and you have to make adjustments on the fly. And there's something social engineering in there, right? And to be, someone who has a studio, but you have to promote, you have to be a marketer. And so there's a lot of skills you can get. To be a rapper, I was a rapper for a while. I didn't like make it or anything, but I became a better communicator. I became a better, I had better comprehension of the English language and how words come together. So if you just pick up like all the little things that you pick up along the way, they turn into your side hustles, which get incorporated into your main hustle. And so, yeah, man, nothing but side hustles over here.
Now, I'm going to pick at you for a second because you're like, oh, you guys did it too, so I can't talk all up the hip hop.
Yeah.
Assuming, sir,
Yes,
even though I grew up in South Georgia, that I did not grow up with hip hop.
No, I mean, you did, because you're an American and you lived between the years of 1974 and now. So you definitely had influences, whether you appreciate them or not. And I appreciate that you push back on that and said, hip hop helped formulate myself too. It just, most people don't. Like rural white America doesn't always know that, in between Bobcat road trips. So I apologize for judging, for prejudging.
That cat was in the Two Fang clan.
Come on.
But real quick before we move on, it was the mainstream hip hop at first, right? That's what I got exposed to with like LL Cool J.
Come on, y'all! Like we recognize it. We know the name of the show.
But then LL Cool J and Queen Latifah and Fresh Prince before he was Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Absolutely.
And DJ Jazz. So I got those, and then I got into. I mean, that's not real hip hop, but I got into other things, and it caused some problems in the areas that I was in, and had some issues. But I would love to talk to you about that someday. But right now,
I mean, you guys have so much in common. You both got fired and told by your boss to get paid to do something else.
I was like, say less.
They're like, get paid to do your side hustle.
You're gonna pay me part of that. Like, let's go. It's actually worked out pretty well. Still, I like 429. I started a business. I don't know if you heard about this. In 2020, there was like a pandemic
thing that happened.
Yeah, and it was a kind of a bad time to start a business right before that.
I mean, if you bought plenty of toilet paper, it was a great time to start a business.
I was not in that business. I was not in that line of work. But we've survived.
Maybe you should have been with your dog.
I know. Oh yeah. Pandemic.
I meant to ask you earlier. Was your dog a Dotson?
No, he's a big dog. He was part. He was what was he? He was part Labrador and part Pit. So he was a good medium-sized dog, like a good
and part Iron Man.
Yeah, I loved him. He was great. The best dog. Good dog. South to you, Max.
So,
AKA Bark Obama. AKA Puppy Chulo.
So we were going to adopt a certain set of puppies that had just the right feel to them. They were both little Chihuahuas. My wife loves Chihuahuas. Okay. And they really had the feel that I wanted to name them Biggie and Tupac.
Okay.
And it's a long story. We didn't get those puppies.
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, I'm going to save the names. And then we did get a puppy and he didn't fit those names. So we didn't use it. But then we got one.
Biggie and Tupac. You have kids now. They're twins and they're named Biggie and Tupac. That'd be great.
My wife hates it, and I think you'll love it. I named our dog that he very much looks like he's a Chihuahua, but he looks a lot like a Doberman, all that coloration, everything.
Yes.
And he's Biggersley Smallerton III. We call him Biggie Smalls.
I love it. I do love it. I will see your big. What is it? Biggersley Smallerton III. I will see your Biggerton Smallerton, whatever, the third. I've been drinking. So we have a dog. We picked her up. Her name was Miss Elena. That was like the foster name, whatever.
Sure.
And so we're gonna rename it. It was like 3 months old, but like, you don't know your name. We're gonna give you a new name. And my daughter, Baby Girl Faces, the world famous, said, so like she was young, and one of the words that she had just picked up recently was Mississippi. Like, like it was a fun word for like a 4-year-old. Mississippi, I can say Mississippi. And so Miss Elena, see, like it sounds like Mississippi. We should name, if we get, and we're in the store, like we're deciding whether we're going to see. It was during COVID. We had to like go to this meet and greet. We were like in a room by ourselves with this dog, this puppy. And she was like, if we name it, we should name it Mississippi. And I was like, that's actually kind of a cool name. Like, Mississippi, that's different for a dog. Like it's better than like, Bella. You know what I mean? Like no offense to people who have dogs named Bella. Fine. But like Mississippi's got, something behind it. So I'm like, I like it. That might stick. That just might stick. So then we leave. We get to take the dog, obviously, because once you name a thing, you know what I mean? Like I named you earlier, Joe, Dad, and so now you're my dad. Once you name a thing, it is what it is. So we take home Mississippi and we love her. And I'm like, all right, but like, you know, we had Max, who was also like AKA Barack Obama, AKA Puppy Chulo, AKA Pup Daddy, though we don't really use that one anymore. It was funny at the time, you know, Max is sliding around with baby oil. No, it's weird. I didn't know.
At the end.
I didn't know it would come back to haunt me. So I said, all right, so her name is Mississippi. Yeah, I was like, all right, well, her middle name is Elliot.
Yeah.
Random kid called it.
So yeah. So she's Mississippi Elliot Faces. So then we get a new dog a bunch of times later. Grayson. But he's already like 6 months old, so I feel bad changing his name like that. I'm like, this is like, you wouldn't change Annie's name. You know what I mean? The adoptee, the Annie. Anyway, so I was like, you don't want to change his name, like he knows his name, blah, blah, but let's give him some more names. So we were like, all right, his name's going to be Grayson Timberland. So we got Mississippi Elliot, Grayson Timberland. Although then we gave him more names. So Grayson's full name, if I can remember this right, I wish Baby Girl Faces was down here with me. It's Grayson Timberland Tank, Evan Williams, Jalen Brunson, Jib, Crayson Derulo, Charles Faces. So that's his full name.
Wow.
We just get adding on to his name. So yeah, so we have
named after you,
Elliot.
Charles.
Yeah, that's it. We got you in there, baby. That was just for you.
And Evan Williams. The Evan Williams, the drinking?
You damn right.
All right. All right. I dig it.
Yeah. So anyway,
See, I love that I'm not the only one who does that.